Hello everybody and welcome back to progress log number 4 regarding the Roblox Titanic model I'm building. As you can see, a lot has actually changed since last time, and today I'm gonna go through everything, and I'm also gonna talk a little bit about it, and we'll see, so enjoy. Starting off at the very top of the grand staircase, last time this was completely unfinished, as you might remember, because because I was recording the video just before the update was coming out, and that's why I didn't have the dome and the ceiling yet finished, and all the banisters were still unfinished. But I finished that a few days later, and then I also released the update. But there's a way bigger change that has happened that you might have noticed, and that is all these ceiling ribs now actually line up with the windows, and that's a way more difficult change than you might think, because all these ribs on each and every single deck were misaligned, and I mean every single deck, so I had to realign and redo every single deck so it's all correct. And that was like the biggest change that happened. So I actually started up here, made this correct first, then copied these down onto the lower deck, fixed up this deck, and fixed up all of these areas, then moved down continuously down the grand staircase. I actually skipped D deck at first because I knew it was gonna be real difficult, as you can see, the ribs and the dining room was already hard enough to create without having to think about the ribs. So I was worried how long that was gonna take, but it luckily wasn't that much of a chore. And then I moved on to E deck, did all of E deck, and then moved on to F deck, did all of F deck, and then did all of D deck, and now I'm finally done with all of those upgrades. And I'm now finally happy with the ribs, and they're also all correctly lining up, and it's very nice. And yeah, that's what changed on that front. And something you might have noticed as well is the staircase banisters now look a lot nicer than they used to, and that is because beforehand they were very cheaply made and very basic, and I did want to improve the detail on this model a little more, so I decided to completely redo them. And I started actually with the elevator gates because they were bugging me the most, and I fixed those up, but then I realized all of these other our ironwork pieces now needed to be upgraded as well, so I moved on first to these doors over here, which now look nicer, and then I did the staircase banisters, which also robbed me quite a time period. And not only that, I also updated this little round thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's nice. Now, something you might have noticed here on A deck is I added the lift cars, and this is actually because I always wanted to add the lift cars, I just never got to it. Now with the brand new gates that actually look good, I decided to add them finally, and I like these cards. They're a little different, and I like it. And that's why I added them, and there's 3 of them, one here on A deck, one on D deck, and one on E deck. So I wanted to have all 3 of them at different locations to make it a little more realistic, I'd say, and that's a little feature I added. Now, getting to new content, the Scotland Road is not only done, it's also been completely revamped in terms of style. Now, regarding the Scotland Road, no one really knows, or I don't think we've come on to a consensus if it was built made out of metal walls or out of wooden walls that can be moved. And the metal walls would have these orange stripy things, or I don't even know how to call these things. And I think Titanic Honor and Glory has changed it to this, and you saw it in a late live stream they did a few weeks ago, I believe now. And some of my colleagues think it's made of wood, but I think Titanic Honor and Glory is a little more trustworthy with the little theme of historians they have at their disposal, which we don't have. And so I went with their approach, and apparently they also found a steel plan where all of this is marked as steel, but I haven't seen that plan myself, so I can't confirm that or anything. I'm just going on their word. As you can see, I also expanded the road. That means it's also not done going from the beginning to the third class dining rooms, going further aft through the watertight doors, having some crew cabins on the side, the engineer's messes in there, some more staircases, entrances, another watertight door next to the engine room. This is the engine room door. Then the turbine room door, the engineer's entrance, even more cabins for the crew, and then moving after the second class emergency door and third class entrance and potato storerooms. This is of where I don't know where officially the Scotland Road ends, but because it gets a little smaller over here and it's just third class beyond this point, I'm just assuming this is where it ends, and so I did it up to here because I really just wanted to get to the second class. So at one point I can add the second class staircase as well, which is something I want to do one day, because I am trying to build as much as possible. So I need to open up more routes so I can build on a little more. I'm also planning on doing the third class dining rooms and the open space and everything in the bow as well one day, so that's gonna be fun. And as you can see, I actually painted this door so it's actually white on the other side, which was wrong before. Actually, I have no idea if this lift lobby was actually different before. It might have actually been the old way where it was like the other decks, but according to the Olympic auction catalogs, these were actually solid doors, and I've actually consulted this with my colleagues, and they agreed with this, and have come on the consensus that these are doors, and some have even said that it's paneled white, which would make sense, to be honest, as a contrast to the other lift lobbies. And yeah, I've decided to add it like this. Now if it's wrong, of course I'll change it back, but I think this is more likely at this point. Now this is a tiny little detail. These doors are being worked on at the moment. The handles have been taken out and everything. It's just a nice little detail, I guess. And over here at the music stand, as you can see, that I've upgraded the piano's keys, and yeah, it's just a tiny extra detail upgrade I've been talking about. So it's just those little small updates that I've been working on. And now moving on to the gymnasium. As you can see, this is a brand new space once again. I like this room's design because I'm very much a fan of whites with browns. Now personally I like beige with brown even more, but that's just a personal that's just a personal I just personally prefer that. And as you can see, I also have the deck plan over here, but I actually changed it out to be the progress plan I've been drawing up, as you can see, which is a nice little detail where you can see how much of the ship I've already built. Yellow is I've built a partial portion of that area, and green is I built everything of that area I want to build. And yeah, that's it's a pretty big chunk of the ship actually, which is it's a massive area, which is surprising that I even got this far so far, which is amazing. And also have the world map over here. And yeah, the gym equipment was hell and a half to build, but it's done, and don't think I will ever be upgrading it unless I learn more about it. Now this dome in the grand staircase was also a headache and a half to build, because it's not one solid object, it's actually many smaller objects formed into its shape, because I couldn't cut it out or anything with an oval shape because it's not supported. And I also didn't want to take the easy way out with decals, so I wanted to actually have it solid, which is a goal of mine which I had with this project. And yeah, that's why it was very difficult, and I'm very much a fan of the chandelier in the middle. That turned out pretty nicely, and the dome itself was very difficult to build. And yeah, it's finally done, so yay, I guess. Now, something you might have noticed, the atmosphere has once again been updated. That's just the usual change, because because I will never be satisfied with the atmosphere, and I will always be changing it, to be honest. I'm just like that. I will never be satisfied with it, and it will always get slightly updated. And I actually changed the background music again to be more atmospheric, because the last music was just way too repetitive, and it just got boring and annoying after a few minutes of hearing it. So you always turned it off, and now you might actually want to have it on because it's only barely noticeable in the background. So it's a lot nicer and more bearable to listen to, I guess. And as you can see, we have the pool again. Now finishing off in the main dining room. Now it's crazy to think that this room robbed my soul twice now. Like, this is crazy, but I'm never gonna be touching it again, that's for sure. And I'm very happy with it, so that's nice. Bonk. Yes. And yeah, that's it really for this video, or this progress log. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna be continuing to work on this project, as it has become a little bit of a very important project to me, because it's been so successful, and I really want to see it succeed even more. So if you want to support it, leave a like, comment your ideas and suggestions down below. If you know something that I don't know and you feel I should change, then feel free to comment and show me some evidence of your claim, and I'll see what I can do, and I'll probably change it. And yeah, that's, if you want to look at this experience yourself, go down below into the description. There I have the link to the experience. But anyways, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you want to see more content, and have a good one.